Hi everyone, welcome to Roots to Wings with Vishakha, a series where we'll uncover the powerful and personal journeys behind every professional title. In this series, we'll get a chance to meet individuals and the leaders who are coming from different set of backgrounds. Each one of them with their own beginnings and the challenges, but always the journey which is crafted with perseverance and self-belief. The goal here is to get reminded with the fact that from where we started or the circumstances we started with were just the beginnings. With the right wings built, we all have the power to rise and achieve what we want. Our today's guest is a friend, a mentor, and a leader I deeply admire for his relevance in the industry, for his unwavering consistency, and definitely the dedication he brings in everything he does. Let's welcome Sandeep Alur, the CTO of Microsoft Innovation Hub, India. Hi Sandeep, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, it's my pleasure, Vishakha. Thank you so much for hosting me this morning.
Thank you. Sandeep, before starting, how are you doing today?
Very well, yeah. By the way, the fact that somebody's going to quiz me on my childhood, my career, yes, it was time for reflection, so can't wait for this conversation.
No, I'm super excited for this. And to start with, Sandeep, I would like our audience to get sense of your roots,
Sure.
where it all began. So just take us back to your childhood. How was it? What were your interest areas as a kid?
Sure. I'll tell you what. This is my visualization when it comes to my childhood. Malgudi Days, a very popular series.
Yeah.
It's black and white, by the way, but look at it this way. Uh, Brought up in this place called Hassan, which is about a couple of hours drive from Bangalore, small town. But it's a Malnad region, so Western Ghats of Karnataka. So mostly, cool weather, drizzling most of the time. I recall my moment as going to school wearing sweater and plastic shoes because it's raining, and come what may, sports was integral part of my life. It's raining, it's sunny, it's winter, doesn't matter, but sports, right? My childhood is largely sports first, studies second, kind of a life I led. So it was fantastic.
Great. And knowing the fact, Sandeep, that your family has different hobbies and you guys nurture music, definitely
Yeah.
sports is one of your favorite thing to do, and especially cricket.
Yeah.
So have you ever, like as a kid, have you ever thought of choosing these as your career choices?
Not really. I'll tell you what. At home, the moment for us was, of course, I can call our family as a musical family.
Yeah.
My dad was a violinist.
Yeah.
My brother is an established playback singer, and of course, a famous composer in Kannada industry. My mother was largely into singing, but of course, she underwent a tonsils surgery, and she could not sing further. But I learned mridangam.
Okay.
Right? So imagine a family where all of us are doing something in the field of music, but for me, the mind was always in the cricket ground.
Okay.
Right? Honestly, I was pretty much inclined towards choosing sports as a primary, I would say, career choice.
Uh-huh.
But of course, options were limited at that time, and hence, while I was less studious, more into sports, but it reversed at some point in my childhood.
Understood. I think that's the right timing to ask you who were those early mentions or the influencer? Were there any who
Yeah.
navigated you towards the world of engineering altogether?
I'll tell you what. In our times, I'm probably going to date myself back with this answer, but in our times, the only option was, I would say, I had four options. While largely engineering, medicine was option. The third option I was exposed to was Sainik school.
Okay.
Right? Either you become engineer, doctor, or get into the army. There's National Defense Academy, and the fourth was, of course, my own in a corner thinking about sports. Honestly, the influence that I had was larger towards sports.
Okay.
And my room had posters of Kapil Dev, Ravi Shastri. That's the childhood I had.
That's
right?
great.
In fact, playing cricket, I was also fortunate to actually witness a lot of these state level Ranji Trophy games where I was a ball boy in the boundary line throwing balls to the famous cricketers, be it G.R. Vishwanath, be it Anil Kumble, be it Srinath. So, while you're asking about childhood, my only memory is cricket. Nothing else.
Oh my God.
Right?
I mean, anybody would like to go back to that kind of a childhood
You
is what
bet,
I
you
can feel right now.
You bet. I was not bad at studies. I just, somewhere an average student.
Yeah.
Of course, at home there was pressure to do that, right? But given a choice, I would have probably made sports as a mainstream one. Because not just one cricket. You know what? At school, you could expect multiple games. Be
Yeah.
it football, be it track and field, table tennis, badminton. Trust me, also played baseball in school. Remember, it's a tier 2, tier 3 city in India.
Yeah.
I'm playing baseball in early 80s. And it was fascinating. Yeah. And by the way, gymnastics. In fact,
Oh my God.
I was a gymnast for about 3 years in my childhood. I played for state level, gymnastic meet. But yeah, played. And that's probably is my childhood, if I can sum up. Only sports.
That's great. And now we understand where the energy is coming from every day at work, to be honest. Okay, so I think now if we shift the gears a little bit to your education, I know the fact that you graduated as a mechanical engineering student, and knowing the fact that how great you are doing in IT. So first thing, what made you to choose mechanical as a background, and then what inspired you to move towards IT?
See, again, it's funny, right? Because as I said earlier, my mind was largely into sports,
Yeah.
right? But if there's one statement we heard was, what? Which field to choose if you ever opt engineering? They always said choose mechanical, supposedly evergreen field, right? Those are the sayings early. But honestly, I will be lying if I tell you that I chose because there is a no reason, limited opportunities. I got into mechanical, but of course my heart was also some nook and corner computers. I was fascinated by computers for sure. So while I chose mechanical engineering, I also chose a 4-year diploma program on the sides of engineering.
Okay.
Which is where it gave me, I would say, the enough knowledge and know-how to actually break into IT post my mechanical engineering as a undergrad. But largely mech because I was also fascinated by workshops, automobiles, etc. So of course my heart mind was there in mechanical, but largely computers fascinated me early in my career, early in my childhood, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, my parallel programs I did in addition to engineering uh, gave me a perspective, right? I didn't know where I would go because in our campus interviews, companies like TCS came and took about 40 people. Siemens took 5 people. That was the campus hire for us. So, as I told you, I was least studious person, into sports, even in engineering. But yeah, we never literally came close to qualifying for campus. So hence the parallel program I did literally made me qualify after I graduated to literally apply for jobs by submitting resumes.
Oh God. I mean, this is going to be so inspiring for the new generation to hear the true story behind a leader and how you can mold your life, prioritize your choices as well early. As you said, you're everything thinking about sports altogether. So I think any suggestions, Sandeep, for the new generation right now, how should they choose your path just to reach where you are now?
Yeah. See, my reflection, Vishakha, is right now we live in times where you have a choice. We had less choice that time. So you live in times where you have choice in terms of what you want to do. Follow your passion. Today, if somebody is good in cricket, you know what? IPL comes as a default choice, or I would say playing for the country becomes a priority there. Now, I think as the ecosystem, there is broad realization that if you're passionate about something, I think if you give your heart and mind, you can pursue it as a career. Which was not the case in our times because even parent support is critical. Right? You hear stories of successful sportsmen. I think broadly the support system literally mattered most to them. So right now, I think every parent would understand if you want to choose a field of design or a music or a sports, there are enough training grounds for you to hone your skills and literally become relevant. I think the message, Vishaka, is choose a field you're passionate about and stay relevant in that.
Got it.
Attaining relevance becomes supremely important for you to strike big as you go along. You don't want to be one in the million, right? You want to literally stand tall, stand out. For that, staying relevant in whichever field you choose is my message.
Thank you, Sandeep. Now, Sandeep, talking about your entry to the industry. moving from your education to your career. How was your first job? Like, what was it like? Do you still remember the, by the way, the day one you joined?
No, no, absolutely. I'll tell you what. In our times, there was no option to go and submit resume online. You literally had to print your resume and go on a two-wheeler and submit resumes,
Oh, wow.
company by company. I did that for a few months,
Okay.
and a few firms responded, giving opportunities, right, aptitude test, etc. But I vividly remember day one because I badly wanted to break into IT. I was so passionate about this field.
Yeah.
And of course, I read about you know in my I would say parallel computer programs I was learning. I read a lot about Bill Gates, right, being the youngest I would say billionaire at that time, and Charles Babbage, the father of computers.
Yeah.
So there was some fascination for sure. So I absolutely remember, day one of my day one. It is a smaller firm called Genesis Software, UK-based company, but going on my two-wheeler, parking my vehicle, reception. I still remember the receptionist, by the way. I'm still in touch with her, right?
Great.
So absolutely, I think I have vivid memories of my first job.
Nice.
Because if you want something badly, you dream about it.
Yeah.
It happens. I think that becomes a treasure trove.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great. I think all of us for sure remember how the day one was for us. Now, back then, as you rightly mentioned, that you're going door to door with your resume in hand. Have you ever thought about joining an organization like Microsoft?
Um, Never thought but dreamt.
Okay.
Right. I'm a dreamer. I dream a lot about doing things that I also believe that if you dream hard, at some point becomes reality,
Yeah.
and you have to work towards it for sure. But my aspiration, that spark to join Microsoft, came in 1995, halfway in my engineering. There was a Windows 95 launch event in Bangalore. So whoever walked into that event, they gave you I would say 3.5-inch diskette.
Okay.
I don't know whether you remember diskettes at all. It is that's how you store in the past.
Okay.
So came back home with the 3.5-inch Windows 95 trial edition.
Okay.
And when I started playing with Windows, and that's when Microsoft was in the news because of this fascinating GUI-based operating system. So in the launch event, I saw people on stage. I think that was the first, I would say, first time I felt, what, if you get into IT, you should work for such company.
That's
Right?
great. Yeah.
Because I read about Bill Gates in the past. My grandfather has always spoke to me about Bill Gates and the impact this company has on the planet. And Windows 95 launch event, there was some spark. I would say, what, that's where you give hands and legs to the dream that you carry.
Yeah.
That's where it started.
That's
But
great.
never thought, by the way, Vishakha, never dreamt of joining Microsoft, and it happened. Yeah, it is something else.
That's great. I think you meant to start this journey, Sandeep. And now also we are getting into that part of the discussion, which is the core of this discussion, that how your journey at Microsoft started. How was it? Was it something that you were like, you rightly said that you always dreamt about it.
Yeah.
How it unfolded for you to start with?
Yeah. See, this is my 18th year at Microsoft.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years to break into Microsoft. Why? Because preparation matters. Now, the kind of work you want to do, you want to join a company and do meaningful work. While I work for Genesis and Wipro for 5 years each, um, for me to become relevant and hireable for Microsoft took 10 years. And it has always been preparation, trust me. No day there's no day that I never thought I could not join Microsoft. There's a question of how do I prepare to be relevant for Microsoft. And join as an evangelist. Um, I think they always say, once an evangelist, always an evangelist. That's something which has become part of the blood right now. But yeah, it's been 18 years so far, but it feels as if I joined yesterday. Honestly, it doesn't feel 18 years at all, because Microsoft is a company which gives you meaning and a purpose for what you want to achieve and aspire in a career. So that's been story so far.
That's great. I think all aspirants who really want to, I mean, Microsoft is their dream company. And we want to kind of motivate them with our story that from where we started, you can always make it to your dream company.
Absolutely. You recall I said earlier, a message for aspirants.
Yeah.
It's important to stay relevant. Dreaming is one, but giving wings to your dream is supremely important. So, doesn't matter when it happens, but if you work towards become relevant in the field you are, magic happens.
Yeah. So Sandeep, when it comes to Sandeep Alur, 18 years back, who joined Microsoft back then, and Sandeep Alur today, how Microsoft contributed in shaping you all the way?
Absolutely. I think one thing for me, it is made by the individual. See, you live in a value system when you work
Yeah.
for a company. You abide by those values every single day at work, and of course, you bring certain values from your personal life onto the work. So, and again, it's vice versa, right? You take things you learn at workplace. If it goes well with you, take it back home as well. So, I think largely this shaped me as a better individual who thinks about doing good for the society. So I think those value system, of course, at home they would inculcate it, but when you get in the real world, it's a good test for you. So um, honestly, it has made me a better thinker. It has made me a better individual at work, at home. We talk about things like diversity, inclusion.
Yeah.
Those are not small terms by any standards. Now, can you apply that at home? While it's a guardrail for you at workplace, but can you think about diversity inclusion in everything you do outside the premise of work? I think that gives a different perspective. So Microsoft definitely shaped my the purpose, the thinking that I have today, and largely, it has made me a better human being.
Wow.
Let me put it that way.
That's great. I think you many times mentioned how the diversity and inclusion you started applying it for the small things which you do outside work, anywhere that we go, and that's the great recall, Sandeep. Thank you for mentioning that. Now, Sandeep, talking about, I know the fact that how much you are passionate about education, how passionate you are about going back to school kind of a culture, and I see you day in day out, and that's why I could say that. I would like our audience to know what are different ways that you could find out to keep on going back to school mindset while you are working. I know you have done that. Just throw some light on that part of your.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you what. We all talk about this term called learner mindset.
Yeah.
I think for me, I had exposure to this very early in my career. When I basically did my computer science as a plan B in addition to doing mechanical engineering, I think that gave me wings to be relevant that time when it comes to me being hireable. But at the workplace, what probably is super important that I felt was to go back to academia frequently because you need a structured way to learn things. Information is omnipresent for sure, but can you bring in discipline in the way you basically amass knowledge? It's a tough one to bring discipline constantly. So I personally felt the need to go back to academia. I did once. I did my master's in AI and
Yes.
ISB. I think that was probably a pivotal time in my career where it gave me an exponential um, growth on knowledge. So once you taste that success when it comes to you being knowledgeable in certain field, you want to go back on a frequent basis because your relevance is largely equal to the knowledge you possess.
Yeah.
And knowledge you possess, you can't stop that. And the more you go back to academia, you bring in a lot more structured method to your learning. When I say academia, it doesn't mean a year-long program. It can be 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, doesn't matter. But I would say the role academia plays is very crucial in one's career growth and staying relevant in industry. These are the ones which gives exponential growth. What you learn is linear on a regular basis, but if you're looking for exponential growth in knowledge assimilation, I think academic intervention becomes central to one's growth and success.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling out that. I think this is going to be super helpful for definitely who are starting early, who are in between their career and they really want to go and run that sprint. I think this is what comes really handy, Sandeep. Thank you so much.
No, no, most welcome, Vishakha. Look at this. We're just an extension of that. Now, everyone's talking about AI.
Yeah.
Now, of course, all of us have knowledge for sure in some capacity, but who will win the race? People who probably bring in deep specialization. If you want to survive for the next 1 decade, I think putting in 1 year of academic intervention, academic curriculum in addition to your work will do a lot good. So I think we should think long term and then plan these things. Short term, you will survive. Long term is where there's a question mark, and hence academic intervention becomes very critical as you mature in your career.
Right. Thank you, Sandeep. Sandeep, I know the fact that as I work closely with you, how the day looks like for you. It's full of learnings, maybe knowledge sharing, and then comes multiple parallel channels, the different initiatives that you took. For our audience, it is very important to understand that how a day in a life of a CTO at Microsoft Innovation Hub looks like.
Wonderful. Thanks for the question, Vishakha. I think, by the way, while all of us juggle with many things every day, because the question you asked, I had to kind of look back at my journey so far. So, day in the life of a CTO at Innovation Hub, number one priority is technical leadership, non-negotiable, right? See, we have customers and partners visiting us. We have to show up as trusted advisors and thought leaders. I think that's become that's the primary responsibility I have as a technology leader. Second, of course, is as a team, how do we bring in a cultural transformation, the culture which the foundation of which is entrepreneurship, leadership, innovation. I think that's a multi-year agenda for any leader. So I think every day I think about that. How do we bring in a culture which makes it better? Right. Number three is, each of us have so much to offer. Can you look at brand equity, recall value? I think becomes central for us to attract customers to come in here and seek our validation. I think these three primary for sure, but back of my mind all the time is how do I create an environment where this place becomes aspirational, where this place becomes a magnet for innovation. People gravitate towards this place to learn, to participate, to engage, collaborate. That's for sure. And while I've said everything so far on what's on my mind as a CTO, there's a need for us to carve a niche for ourselves as a team and individuals. Why should somebody come and talk to you? Why should they seek help from Innovation Hub? So, as a technology leader, it's my responsibility to ensure that this space becomes aspirational as well as a hub of everything through technology. And I think the air we breathe here should be palpable. Right? That's the eventual aspiration I carry, and these are traits that I bring to table every single day. But when I end the day, it's also a reflection saying, okay, did I do certain things which made this place move one step forward? Right. It can be brick by brick, but you know what? In the last 6 years, it's been brick by brick, right? Nothing comes easy, but I'm absolutely happy where we are right now. But that's largely state of mind. And the foundation of which Vishakha largely is a servant leadership, right? That's probably is where I'm rooted in terms of trying to see how I can set an example, role model, and lead the way forward. That's good. Thank you so much. But Sandeep, I would say you definitely covered it all. But just to remind you, I know that you follow and you're very consistent when it comes to doing anything. So be it LinkedIn, be it social media, I can say. You spend good time on your hobbies as well. And one of that which really inspires us every day is how your workout schedule is. How you maintain and manage to go to and hit that 45 1 hour to give it to yourself so that you can function really well throughout the day. How you manage that? Yeah. See, each of us, we have our own examples in life as to why we do what we do. Yeah. Of course, sports has been a foundation for me right through my, I would say, childhood. Yeah. And of course, early part of my corporate life as well. But somewhere, that took a backseat. But a passion I picked up, probably 15 years back is running. One of my colleagues introduced me to running, and ever since I think I'm hooked on to running. It's probably something I can't live without, like meditation, right? So of course I run once a week, longer runs, but you realize that for you to literally achieve anything you want to achieve, your health is priority. On that note, yes, I've brought in some changes to my, I would say, life, where you said 45 minutes. Yeah. I think an hour and a half in each of our lives where you can focus on yourself becomes critical.
Right.
And yeah, I think workout during the weekdays and running on the weekends.
Yeah.
So running is probably is where I've got best of the ideas in life, by the way. People say, people have different mechanisms to basically have that me time. For me, running is me time, where I think about a lot of things, about life, about professional, personal ideas coming. Trust me, some of the hardest coding problems, I've stuck solutions while I'm running.
Okay.
Right. So running is close to my heart. Best part of running, Vishakha, is you can run anywhere.
Run
right?
anywhere, yeah,
When you travel,
true.
because all of us travel as part of the work.
Yeah.
Just carry your running shoes and you're good. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
Essential.
Yeah.
All of us are dreamers. For dreams to come alive,
need to
health is
do it.
important. So each of us should look at spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour on ourselves.
Great. I think I really wanted you to call out that as part of your day. I know that you do it consistently. Now, going back to your CTO day in a life, you mentioned that being up to date on top of the technology is the primary need of an hour. So, I would say when it comes to suggestion or the guidance to the new generation, what are those key areas or maybe the key habits that we should follow to make sure that we are following every single thing, which because technology is fast right now. How should we, on the top of everything what's happening right now in the industry?
See, you said top of everything in industry, absolutely essential. But look at it this way. See, information is omnipresent. Today the number of channels where you can literally, get hooked onto and understand things are too many.
Yeah.
The point is, after watching a podcast or after listening to a podcast or after going through a learning curriculum, do you have a perspective and a point of view? I think it's important to build your own perspectives on anything on a generic note, right? Because everybody will know the same stuff. By the way, what is your point of view on that? That becomes essential because when it comes to professional career, um, you will speak to multiple personas. In our, for example, work, customers and partners. Now, the question is, earlier I said, why should they come and talk to you? Are you relevant?
Right.
Are you a thought leader? Are you a trusted advisor? So, for you to become trusted advisor, I think knowledge assimilation every single day becomes essential,
Right.
and you should make it a habit. So quickly, Vishakha, now there are multiple ways of learning, right? Becoming a specialist. By the way, the recommendation I have is people should follow this T model, right?
Okay.
A horizontal line of a T letter signifies you're a generalist. Vertical line signifies specialist. You should have both. Now, to become a specialist, it takes a lot of time. But what is essential is consistency. If you do something 30 minutes a day on a subject for 6 months, you will gain generalist knowledge. If you do it inconsistently, take 2 years. The question is how fast you want to become a generalist in that area. Once you're a generalist, then of course, if you like that subject, you can also go deeper, become a specialist. So, number one, to stay relevant, learning every day becomes should be a habit. Number two, consistency matters, right? Number three, identify sources where you seek knowledge. It can be your colleagues, it can be a YouTube channel, it can be anything else, but do it consistently. I think staying relevant has been the thematic for me in my professional life. No day goes by without me thinking about what did I learn today. If you question yourself on that, if the answer is no, then I think you're putting yourself in a constant attention mode that helps you move forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be super helpful, Sandeep. Following it and being consistent with it is the message that I'm going back with when it comes to what resources and how should we stay relevant every single day. So, Sandeep, as you mentioned, it is need of an hour to be relevant. I would really like your guidance and to make sure that every one of us understands what are those key resources and the habits that you would suggest to be relevant.
Yeah. Vishal, quickly, I think I realized later in the game, in my professional career, that um, for you to stay relevant, there are certain traits you have to probably inculcate. A model that I adopted, probably later part of my professional career, is the T model, right? All the time we look at learning and learning, but the question is, where is it going, right? Is there a way I can capsule my learning as a generalist knowledge and a specialist knowledge? So look at the letter T, right? The horizontal line is the generalist line, the vertical line is the specialist line. So I would say as individuals early in your career, start looking at this T model.
Right.
That means you basically are passionate about one subject, go to a specialization, but never let go of being a generalist. Because what matters most is to have a point of view and a perspective.
Right.
Now, you having a perspective will do a lot good as you navigate your professional career. So, number one lesson I would probably have people is follow the T model, right? Be a generalist, be a specialist, both. The second one I would say is look at resources which probably gives you the generalist strength and a specialist strength. That means you have to look for those resources which probably is close to the learning plan you put for yourself and do it consistently. Now, consistency matters.
Right.
You can't be looking at resources 1 week and look at a month gap and come back. Doesn't work that way. So for you to build a point of view, the world is in a fast pace right now. So if you skip your learning plan, it's like missing a heartbeat. Now, that's my recommendation, Vishakha. So follow the T model and stay consistent on the track.
Yeah, this is going to be super helpful, Sandeep. And now talking about all of us get inspired looking at your journey, looking at everything that you share, thanks to you, that you keep consistent with respect to sharing your perspective and the knowledge.
Yeah.
I would really like to understand who has been your inspiration and why.
I think for me, inspiration starts at home, Vishakha. So, um, we're a small family.
Yeah.
I get resilience from my mother. I get staying, having good outlook towards life from my wife. My son teaches me how to stay calm.
Oh, wow.
My daughter, life lessons. I think people say when you have a daughter, you learn a lot. Yes, she teaches me a lot in terms of life perspective, etc. So that's where I get inspired every single day, right? I think more than anything else, there's a saying, Vishakha, which is close to my heart. Um, Success is not final. Failure is not fatal.
Yeah.
What matters is the drive to move forward. I've seen
Right.
that from my parents early on, where they taught me what is hard work. I witnessed hard work. We all say we have to work hard, but what is hard work, by the way? Right? Not putting 20 hours, 30 hours. There's a meaning to what is working hard on the end of the day. So hence my inspiration is largely capsuled, with my family and what they teach me and what I learn from them.
No doubt, I can say this has been my favorite answer as of now. So, Sandeep, I think moving to my next question and maybe the final section before we get into the rapid fire round.
Sure.
So, Sandeep, all of us have faced failure at our level. So, just wanted to know, have you ever faced that failure or obstacle in your career, personal life, and more than that, what is that mindset
Yeah.
with the help of which you could overcome it?
Absolutely. See, I think all of us face failures. I would say every other day, right? Uh, the question is, what's your outlook towards life when that happens? Early in my, I would say, childhood, I've witnessed up close in terms of what failures my parents went through, and those were visible to me. Now, the approach they honestly, took was selectively forget the past, because the past will not help you move forward. So as long as you look at them as learnings.
Yeah.
So staying relevant in the industry has been the biggest failure for a long time for me. Trust me on this one. While you say, you're relevant, etc. No, I think I probably understood how it works for me personally in the last 7 to 8 years, I would say.
Okay.
That means, 70% of my professional career, I was struggling to stay relevant. And I look at that as a failure, because you have an aspiration, a dream. For you to
Yeah.
get there, you have to be relevant. If you can't be relevant on a daily basis, it hurts your progress. So I think for me, that's probably has been the biggest reflection. But I would not look at it as a failure, Vishaka. Many times I look at this as focus areas,
Yeah.
right? I am an eternal believer of the fact that whatever happens is for good.
Yeah.
So if it's a failure or if it's a hurdle, uh, something good is on its way. So hence you have to go past the hurdle. Um, Important to selectively forget the past,
That's,
right?
yeah.
That means something which will hurt your progress, leave it back. Something which will help you progress, take it with you. Right? That's probably is my way of looking at success and failure in life.
That's great, Sandeep. I mean, I'm hearing this advice for the first time, selectively forgetting the past. what I'm thinking right now, this is going to help when it comes to you keep on thinking negative and pulling yourself down. If you could selectively forget the past, I think we can actually move forward faster.
Yeah, it's a difficult trade, Vishakha.
Yeah.
It's not that I've mastered it, no, but I make an effort to do that.
That's a good approach, I can say.
Absolutely.
Okay, with that, Sandeep, let's move into our rapid fire round and then one last question, and we are good.
Sure.
So let's go. I would really like to know, Sandeep, one Microsoft tool or any tool that you can't live without.
Right now, it's Copilot,
Right,
hands down.
that's good. Second, when you found what exactly is the most interesting activity throughout your day, that okay, that 15-minute, 20-minute, 1 hour activity you look forward in a day.
I think my drive back home.
Okay.
That's a significant me time. I've basically the day is done. You're going back and you're going back for a workout. But the drive time from office to home, I love that because I listen to favorite music that time. I listen to stuff which I probably is not academic.
Okay.
Right. Morning is academic. It's learning, but afternoon is like it can be some late night show episode, anything. So it's that time where it's almost like you binge watch, but 30 minutes my binge watch time.
That's nice. I know. I was not aware about this one. So talking about if not tech, I think we all know the answer now. But if not tech, what you would have been doing?
Definitely a cricketer.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I idolize a lot of sportsmen, cricketers specifically, and I live my life on a cricket ground for most part of my life. If at home is Sandeep is not there at home, they would come to cricket ground and search for me. That's how
Makes
it was.
sense. Makes sense. Yeah. And now talking about definitely your family, but one person if you want to pick that who has always inspired you, who that would be?
No, I would probably repeat that answer I said earlier. It's not one person. It's four in my family.
Family, yeah.
Plus, if I had my brother who is an established musician, I think all of them teach me, how to be calm, how to selectively forget the past.
Yeah.
How to look at, I would say, doing good for society, right? More than anything else, I think my wife teaches me to look at life positively every single day.
Right.
And my son, calmness, and my daughter, life lessons, my mother, resilience in life.
That I'm definitely taking back home, Sandeep. Now the last question: if you meet the younger Sandeep who is into his high school, maybe, what would you talk to him as an advice, or maybe ask him? I don't want to say change, but just maybe mention that okay, he should be aware about these facts. To go ahead.
Yeah, I would probably infuse a bit of academic discipline in that individual because I would be a lot more smarter sitting here than I'm today right now. Had I focus on books early in my, I would say, academic journey. As I said earlier, it is sports first and academic second for most part of my education. So not just in school days, even in my engineering days, I would have probably put that focus on academia a bit than sports because sports has been integral part of my life right through. Given a choice, if there is an option to shift careers and the sports fraternity allows, I would probably switch careers right now, but impossible right now at this age.
But that's such an honest answer, Sandeep. I think now thank God I asked you this question now. Even though with the same past you had, what you made it, I think this is going to inspire all the viewers a lot. And thank you so much for joining us, Sandeep, today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting me, Vishakha. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening all. With this episode, I'm going back with the perspective that by roots, we stay grounded. And by wings, we explore and learn and learn. I'll be back with the next story, which will again remind us that what's possible when we dare to grow. See you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.